Thokozani Bogogo, Thokozani Dizala, Thokozani Bomkulu, Dr. L here. Let us go into the iNzunza Spirit Part 2 to give more of a correction or more of clarification. Someone asked me in the previous video whether we say iNzunza or whether we say iNzunza. The Batswana tribe of the Basutus say iNzunza with an N, and then the Mgunis say iNzunza. Why? Because it is originally a Mguni word, so I would suppose the correct word to use is iNzunza. Now, another misconception that people have is that the iNzunza spirit is the mermaid spirit, which is incorrect. The iNzunza spirit is not the mermaid spirit, but it can be associated with the marine spirits. That's fact number one. So when they say you have iNzunza, it doesn't mean you have a mermaid. It means you have this pure spirit that is able to connect with you from part of your bloodline and your lineage that you are able to connect with from many generations ago. How do you now connect with them? They have chosen you to be a part of them because of perhaps your deeds, because of your line of duty, because of your purity. It is more like when they say that you were born with this pure spirit, right? Now, many of you find that when you have this spirit, you can tell that you are gifted, but you can misinterpret it as a gift of healing. You can misinterpret it as a gift where you have to go and initiate ubungoma, whereas the spirit does not initiate. It gets activated on its own as you grow in spirit, as you ascend in spirit. The purer you become, the more connected you are with your higher self, with your ancestry. The more you pray, the more you cleanse your bloodline, the more you will connect with it. Why do I say that it is part of your bloodline from many generations ago? According to me personally, and my experience and the knowledge that I have been given by my personal ancestral and spirit guides, for if I'm to relate my story, the iNzunza spirit that I have and that one that I am connecting with is from the Far East. And when they came along, they traveled by sea, and the spirit guide that I connect with was actually at the time a feminine spirit. So they related a story to me to say that is how they crossed the ocean coming to Africa. And she was selling spices in that boat. That is how she was granted access, because otherwise she wouldn't have been granted access into that ship. And because of the courage that they had going into the land that they don't know, the land where nobody knows how far it is and when they will reach there, they were seen as those who are courageous. And then fast forward, due to their heightened spiritual connection, when they landed, some of them landed in like the Mozambique area, some of them landed along the eastern coast, some of them landed throughout the coast in Africa. That is why you find that the iNzunza spirit, most of the time, it connects with the Africans, right? Now, later on, because of their spiritual practice, they would then connect, like with me, when they entered through Mozambique, they went to the Bria area, they connected with those who resided in Mozambique at that time, and they started teaching each other ways to practice spiritually. They started ascending together. Fast forward, they then met with the Mandawi people who were practicing a lot of spirituality through air and water. Not that they are not able to use land, herbs, root work, and fire. They are able to work with that as well. And then through the migrations and the changes of environment, they fast forward landed up in South Africa. And that's how I eventually then became connected with the iNzunza spirit, through my connection in spirit and through years and years of practice. Even though sometimes I would take a break, but through years of practice and praying and connecting with the higher self and the ancestry and the spirit guides, And I hope that it makes sense. The Nzunza spirit then would closely connect with the Mandawe people simply because of the relationship or the connection that they have with the element of water and the element of air. So the Nzunza spirit will then closely be linked with those people who have amanono, the people who have abalodzi, people who have these pure spirits of prophecy, the people who pray, prayer warriors as well. The more pure you are, the more it will be easier for it to connect with you. And their sole purpose is to help you connect with your ancestry, help you connect with your lineage, help you to cleanse your bloodline and to trace your bloodline so that you are able to better craft the current path spiritually and that path of your generation to come. That is why people would say that a person who has the Nzunza spirit is a person who has a lot of luck. Why is that so? It is so because the Nzunza spirit possesses a lot of courage. When they came to Africa, they came as tradesmen. They came as those who were seen as courageous. They came with spices, with cloths, with many other elements, with gold and brass. And that is why when they say that you have the Nzunza spirit, you would most likely be the person to like adornments like beads, sorry, not like beads, but more like pearls. You would dream of pearls more. Your ancestors would want you to wear gold chains or silver chains. You would wear brass bangles or gold bangles as a representation of your association with the Nzunza spirit. I hope that this part 2 makes sense. Thokozani, ndawe khanya lesedi, namaste.